Fluency in English is one of the biggest challenges for language learners worldwide. Many students can read and write well, but when it comes to speaking, they struggle to express themselves smoothly. They pause too often, search for words, or feel nervous about making mistakes. But fluency is not about speaking perfectly, it's about communicating confidently and naturally. Think about a child learning their first language. They don't study grammar rules or memorize vocabulary lists. Instead, they listen, imitate, and gradually become fluent through daily practice. The same principle applies to learning English. The key to fluency is continuous exposure, regular speaking practice, and a mindset that embraces mistakes as part of the learning process. In this article, we will explore practical and effective ways to improve fluency, share real-life stories of English learners, and give you strategies to make your English sound smooth and natural. If you've ever felt frustrated with your progress, don't worry. Fluency is a skill you can develop, and with the right techniques, you will see improvement faster than you think. Why do people struggle with fluency? Before we dive into solutions, let's understand why many learners struggle with fluency. Some of the most common reasons include fear of making mistakes. Many learners hesitate to speak because they are afraid of being wrong. They worry about grammar, pronunciation, and whether people will understand them. This fear slows down speech and creates anxiety, making fluency harder to achieve. Thinking in their native language. If you constantly translate from your first language before speaking, your speech will sound unnatural and slow. English has its own rhythm, structure, and expressions that don't always match direct translations. Lack of speaking practice. Many learners focus too much on grammar exercises and vocabulary lists, but rarely practice speaking. Fluency comes from using English in real conversations, not just studying it. Limited vocabulary. If you don't know enough words to express yourself, you will struggle to speak smoothly. Expanding your vocabulary in a natural way is essential for fluency. Now that we understand the challenges, let's discuss the most effective ways to overcome them and achieve fluency. 1. Think in English. One of the biggest breakthroughs in fluency comes when you stop translating in your head. Instead of thinking in your native language and then trying to find English words, train your brain to think directly in English. Start small. Describe what you see around you in English. I see a blue sky. I'm drinking coffee. The more you do this, the more natural it will become. Eventually, your brain will process English automatically, and speaking will feel effortless. 2. The 3-second rule. Respond quickly. A great exercise to develop fluency is the 3-second rule. Whenever someone asks you a question, try to respond within 3 seconds. Don't overthink grammar or vocabulary. Even if your answer isn't perfect, just speak.
Shadowing is a powerful fluency exercise where you listen to native English and repeat exactly what you hear at the same time. This helps you improve pronunciation, rhythm, and speaking speed. Here's how to do it. Choose a short clip from a movie, podcast, or news report. Play a sentence and immediately repeat it, imitating the speaker's tone and speed. Do this for 10-15 minutes daily, and over time, your speech will become more natural. One of my students, Ahmed from Egypt, struggled with fluency because he spoke too slowly. After practicing shadowing with English news for 3 months, his speech became much smoother, and he gained confidence in conversations. In natural conversations, even native speakers don't speak in perfect sentences all the time. They use filler words like, well, actually, you know, let me think. For example, instead of pausing awkwardly, you can say, "Well, me think. Actually, I went to a concert last night." This makes your speech sound more natural and fluent. 5. Expand your vocabulary with context. Fluency is not just about speaking fast. It's about speaking smoothly. If you often pause because you don't know the right word, focus on learning vocabulary in context. Instead of memorizing long word lists, learn phrases and expressions used in real conversations. For example, instead of learning happy, learn in a good mood today. Instead of learning angry, learn he lost his temper. The more phrases you know, the easier it will be to express yourself fluently. 6. Practice with real conversations. The best way to become fluent is to speak as much as possible. Find a conversation partner, join an English speaking group, or even talk to yourself. If you don't have anyone to practice with, try recording yourself speaking about your day. Listen to your recording, identify mistakes, and try again. Over time, you will notice major improvements. One of my students, Maria, moved to California for university, but struggled with fluency. She started working at a cafeteria, where she had to speak with customers every day. At first, she was nervous, but after 6 months, she became much more confident in English. Real conversations helped her improve faster than any textbook. 7. Learn with movies and TV shows. Watching English movies and TV shows is a fun way to improve fluency. Start with subtitles, then remove them as you get better. Choose a character and try to imitate their speech. A fun exercise. Pause a scene and try to predict what the character will say next. This helps you think in English and improves your speaking speed. 8. Be consistent and patient. Fluency doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, but with regular practice, you will see progress. The key is consistency. Practice a little every day instead of studying once a week for hours. Many learners give up too early because they expect instant results. Remember, native speakers took years to master their language. The key is to keep going, even when progress feels slow. Finally, fluency in English is not about speaking perfectly, it's about speaking confidently and naturally. By thinking in English, responding quickly, practicing shadowing, expanding your vocabulary, and engaging in real conversations, you will improve your fluency faster than you imagine. Mistakes are part of the journey, so don't let them stop you. Every great English speaker was once a beginner, just like you. The difference is that they didn't give up. If you keep practicing, fluency will come naturally. Now, it's time to take action. Choose one of the techniques from this article and start practicing today. The more you use English in your daily life, the more fluent you will become. If this lesson helped you, leave a comment saying, "I will improve my fluency." And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with others who want to speak English fluently. Keep practicing, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next lesson.